All right, so back at it again. Another day of coding. We've got, I think, 51 days until TikTok gets banned. So we're building our own. Um, what we've done so far is we've worked on the comments, we've worked on the video page, the login, authentication, all of that. And what I think I want to do today is add the search screen functionality. So you can search for a user, you can pull all the users, and then filter based on who matches a specific piece of text. So let's go ahead. I will show you kind of where we're at, and then we will get started. So let's go ahead and load up the phone. All right, there we go. Let's start that, and I'll kind of get the code situated while I'm waiting. So, and I kind of do a refresher every single time. So let's start with that. What you'll notice is, let's see, the code is just assembling, so it'll take some time. Uh, but the application has a backend in Firebase. So it's already configured for to grow with as many users as we want to release it to. It has login. So when you see the first page, and it should be coming up soon, once the screen goes white, you'll know it's coming up or it's near. But the application already has login, which and actually stores caches the user profile once it's created. So okay, it's white. It'll probably take a second, but eventually you're going to see that the user login flashes like that. And that was because the profile is cached. So it goes straight to the first video and plays that. You can see it's already loaded with a like, and we can toggle all of these things in the database. So if I pull this up, let's reload. Let's do video 2. And you can see likes right here. If I go ahead and unlike that, you can see on the screen it's 0. And this array has changed, right? So then we can go into comments. You can see we've got comments there. Um, let's go ahead and go to that page. We've got an error, but we're not going to work on that today. What we are going to do is go back, go to the search page, and start working on that. And just for full transparency, I am working through Rivan Ranwat's Flutter tutorial. I actually paid for his course on Udemy so that he gets a little extra money. But that is where we're at. So we are gonna start the search section of this application. Let's get started. So first thing we want to do, go over to the search screen. And we have a const placeholder. We don't want a placeholder. We want a scaffold. Actually, no, because the scaffold is set higher. Instead of a placeholder, though, we do want a let's do a column. Actually, we can just do it this way. So I guess before I dive in too deep, I should just get started with the search screen. So Okay. So for this one, we actually do want navbar. So for now, just so you can see it, we have a search bar. So that's going to be hopefully eventually where we search. And then results are going to populate underneath it. So we want a text form field so that we can enter information. So the only thing that changed is you can see that that text moved. And the cool thing about that is, but now it's clickable and we can get a keyboard. So the next thing we're probably going to want to do is create a text controller. So we're going to want a search controller and a text controller, is my thought. Let's get started with that. Text editing controller. Text editing controller, text controller. But then we also want a oh, yeah. We want an init state. We have to initialize the text controller. Probably do that. And then also, okay. So we got that. Let's keep going. Circle animation. Huh. Let's just uncomment that. It's just a little thing. Okay, so then the body is just centered text. So we have some text. Okay. Style, text style. Um, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make a little note. Search for users, text style. Um, let's see. Okay. So that's what we got. Search for users. Big old letters. Big old letters. Um, hey, thanks for the comments. Let me know if either of y'all have suggestions for the app or suggestions for Flutter. I wouldn't say I'm new to it, but I definitely there's things I don't know. So, but thanks for watching. All right, let's keep going. So we have this search for users. The next thing we're definitely going to want is the text to start creating the controllers. So, and I kind of want to give that a try on myself by myself, but I know that's the one thing I'm not going to be able to figure out. So, what do we actually want is um, based on the. So what we want to do is from Firebase, we want to pull a list of users. And then from that list of users, we want to get the ones that match the search result that we have. And let me see how he does that. I'm just going to kind of peek at the code and the tutorial and then try to recreate it without really cheating too much because controllers are one of those things that or at least getx controllers. So get is one of those things that I'm really trying to figure out. So um so he does just make it one function. Search user. Okay. So let's try to do it without looking too much. Okay. So search user string query async. That's good enough. I'm actually going to do, instead of query, I'm going to do input. And then first thing we want to do is actually get the information from Firebase, Firestore. Let's see. Search result, bind stream, Firestore. Let's input that or import that. Um, yeah, I mean, that is right. So we want to go to the collection of users, take a snapshot, and then map that. So we want an empty list. And then let's think about, really, I think what we want to do is for each search result that matches the, for each search result that matches the, sorry, for each user that username matches the search input text, we want to add to the return value list. So for var element and query snapshot docs. Okay. I don't think that's what we want. Oh, that's interesting. So you do it here. Okay. So we're just adding all the values, and here's why. So, okay, let's break that down. So right now what it's doing is it's taking all the users and a snapshot of each user, and it's mapping that snapshot to an empty list where you are taking the snapshot of the user, adding the user profile from a snapshot um, to the list and then returning it. So I think I need to return it right here. Right? So that's what it's doing. But that's not what we want. We want it to be a just a list of the ones that are that match the search. So what we actually do is we filter and we say where, and there's a conditional. So Name, let me double check in the user model. We did give it the name. So where name is equal to okay. So now what it's doing is it's actually checking, is the name, does it match with the input text? And then it creates only the snapshot of those and returns that list of user profiles. So that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and take care of the last part of this, which is actually adding that functionality into the application. So let's see, we have update video ID. I'm in the wrong spot, aren't I? Yeah, here we go. So we want search screen and search controller. So search controller is set, at least should be. So then we go in to the search screen and let's actually use that functionality. So text form field, we have the decoration, but what we don't have is the text controller. And on form submitted, we want to take the value. And what did we call it? Search controller, search user, string input. Well, it should be. Search controller, search controller. I don't know what this one actually does. So let's see. Man, I do not know why. Did it fix itself? No. Called it search controller. Hmm. So if we go to search, huh? Oh, a search controller is an actual thing. Let me see. Because you probably have to import it as. Let's see how to do. Package, swipe, controllers, search controller as controller. Okay, so now it should work. We have that. Text controller has not been initialized. So we actually don't even need a text editing controller for this. And I guess it's because the easiest way to think about it is because it's not using that text anywhere else. So let's just go ahead and save that. And we've got this application. Okay. So here's where we're at. We've got this. And what should happen is this list should be empty. So let's actually check that. So instead of const center, what we actually want to do is check search controller dot search result is empty. If so, center. But if not, we want a list view. We're going to create a list with all the users in there. List view dot builder, item builder. And we'll do a list tile. Let's see. We want to have leading circle avatar. Search controller, search result, index. Because it does have, the search results are users. So we can do that. Okay, it does not like that. So let's just go back. Well, that fixed it. So we want a list tile. That's actually smart since we're using a since everything is referencing a user profile, it's easiest to just do this. Um, it should be final, right? Is equal to search controller search result index, right? And then we want the item count to be equal to, that was not what I wanted. Search controller dot search result dot length. And then we just need to import this model. Let's add a semicolon here. So we'll explain what we're doing real quick. With this, we have a list view builder that only that will grow or shrink to the amount of users that are returned. That is builds out for each one a list tile with a circle avatar that is based on the user. Actually, no, I want, is it background image, user profile photo. Okay. So that's where we start. And can I start with that? Let me see. Let's go ahead and open up the phone and just say, search result dot length. I'm going to reload all of this. So if we go to search and then we pull up it is Holt. So I do have the list there. That's the leading. Circle avatar. After the leading, we want the title. We want that to be a text with user.name. We want the, can you do that in a list tile? I don't think that's what I want. Let's do a subtitle that has the handle. So okay, that is not what we want. Let's get rid of that. That is um let's do that. And then trailing, we want I'm gonna do a text button. I don't even know if there are followers for users. Let me see. Name, profile, email, UID. That'll be interesting. So on press, we want the child to be a text that says follow. And eventually what we would want is we would want okay. Right, so now we've got this whole since we only have one user, this is it. But we do have the user, so that's great. And then what we're also going to want to do is wrap this entire scaffold in a stream builder. In OBX. And OBX has a okay. Huh. There we go. That's interesting. So if I do like P, then nothing works. That's strange. Huh. Oh, it's case sensitive? Are you kidding me? Hold on, let me fix that. That's really funny. There's no way that that's intentional, right? Okay. So you can't actually case sensitivity isn't an inherent check. So that's why my application is having a problem is look, if I do that, there's nothing. But if I do capital, then there is. And none of these, I mean, this is clickable. What I want probably is for the whole list view item to be clickable. So what we'll do is we'll wrap that in an inkwell. Okay, so, and then there's one more function that we have to have, which is the on tap. And on tap is going to navigate to profile screen and pass the user. And we haven't built the profile screen yet, so that can be the next thing that we do. So first, let's go ahead and create a new screen. That is not right. Hold on. Forgot, it's always going to be undercase. And honestly, this is probably going to be stateless. So what we want to do is actually return a column with children. And let's go ahead and look at the course and see how he um, see how he actually designed the profile page. Because if we go to my file, and I'll show you just these designs. So this is very simple, um, right? Profile pic, the 3 pieces of content, which we can actually just get from a controller. Do we want a separate controller? I think so. And then a video upload toggle if there are no videos. So if there are videos, then we would have, you know, video here, uh, video here, video here, right? Um, so that's what we're kind of going for. But let me see how he does it in the course. I just want to see what his design is. Okay, so let's actually do that first. So that's a good point. If we go into constants, the last page is going to be the profile screen. So no, sorry. Um, Profile screen. And profile screen is going to take a string UID. So we're just going to require that real quick, and then we're going to go back to constants and say that the UID is the is it Firebase auth? Okay, there we go. So let's save that. And I will be back. I got to run to the restroom. So I will see you back in just 1 second. All right, so back at it. Here we go. So we have the profile screen. Now we've just actually got to build it. So let's go ahead and go back to the search screen, profile screen, user dot ID. Let's import this. Perfect. So we've got that. Now let's go ahead and build out the profile screen. So let's go ahead and save that. And for now, let's just do text here. That's fine. That's just to show you that this should be working. So here we go. It's unfortunate that I only have one, but if I click this, I get that. If I go back and do the profile screen, that's strange. Oh, because the navigation, which is in home screen, no, constants. Oh, that's bizarre. Hold on. Okay, so we're in. If I click profile, this is the profile screen. That's so weird. But if I do it from the search, then when I click, does that. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because I'm using Git navigation there, but here I'm using a different navigation. Huh. Let's go ahead and see how he handles that. So profile screen. Let's just go ahead and undo this. Dang it. Okay. Column, children. I don't want that. I want a scaffold. And so for now, we'll just do that. Okay. Profile screen. So then we also want an app bar. icon adult one. Okay, let's just save that so we have that logo. And let me see. Is the internet okay? Is the stream, is everyone doing okay on the stream? Just let me know if it's lagging or something. It looks fine. Okay. Okay, so we have the leading and then we have whoops. Okay. So we've got the add add user and more profile screen. So let's keep going. Okay, so the title. Okay. Fonts, text style. We want bold weight. And we want so we've got that. Do we want this centered? We don't have to for now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So center, what we actually want is a column, which may be expanded. Let's do that. So children column. The first child is another column. I actually don't know why. And then a row. Okay, so let's see what we got. Main axis alignment. Main axis alignment center. Let's see. children, it's going to be clip oval. And then we have to import the cached image. What is it? The cached image network, cached network image or something. Cached network image. So let's go here and find that package. So what's going on? So okay. Let's go ahead and add this. We will throw it. We got to go into our pub spec YAML. You know what? Before I get too far, I should probably actually push the project. Let's do everything except let's do everything except for pub spec and let's do that. Okay. And then okay. So now we're going to start working on that. So that was just so I have a little bit of record as to each of the steps that I'm doing. And for those watching, feel free to let me know if you have any questions or if there's something that you have a suggestion on. I am new to this, not new, but I'm definitely still learning, right? So can always do something better. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and pub upgrade, and then we'll just close out of the pub spec because we won't need that anymore. Close out a circle animation. We can clean out a lot of these constants we don't need. Auth controller, probably don't need. Let's just go ahead and do that. So for now, this is all we need. So let's see. Okay, let's see how this works. Okay, let's do that first. So fit. Okay. Just do that for now. So circular progress indicator. Okay, let's do that. All right, so we got that circular progress indicator. It's probably just a container or something, right? Let's see. So for now, we want the image URL to be empty. But what we're probably going to do is end up taking, we're going to have to create a controller that can get the Firebase image URL. What else is it going to need? It's going to need a list of the videos. It's going to need the image URL. Is that it? The cool thing is I think I might be able to build that by myself. Let me just go in real quick because it's going to bother me. Profile screen. Oh, sorry. Huh. URL. So probably never see that. So we do need a controller. So let's go ahead and create that. So we want a profile controller. So we're going to add it to Git, and then let's think about how to do this. I think it's class. Git X. Controller builder, maybe. Let's check that. Okay, so we have a getX controller. That actually makes sense. Let's import the user model. So, do we need a list of users? And I don't think the answer is yes. Because we only ever need one user, right? We only ever need one user. Let's think about that. I'm gonna try not to look at any guide code. I'm just gonna try to code it. So what do we actually want this controller to do? It has to get user information. It has to get user videos. I think that's about it. User profile, user videos, because the followers, all that stuff will be in the user information. So let's go ahead and do that. Do get user profile, Firestore collection, users. It's not it. Because we don't want users. Am I crazy on that? Hold on. AI really wants me to build users, but I do not think that that's what profile controller. Yeah. So it's not going to be a list. Okay, final user, which is going to be a map. Let's just do this. Okay, so we have final rx string dynamic user is equal to the map. So then user list, sorry, map of user string dynamic. So this is, and the reason we're doing this is because we're preparing to receive JSON arguments. So here we go. So we have this user value, get user profile. Of course, it just spits everything out. Hmm. Let's think about this. Do we actually want that? Because if we search a user, we actually pass a user ID. Hmm. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. Get user profile. What the AI was suggesting is, oh, you can just cheat and use your own profile, but we also want to use that page for other people's profiles. So let me just go ahead and see. Okay. And then I guess the profile is also going to toggle. That's all part of the user. So get user information. Oh my gosh. So update. So here's what we want to do. Whenever we load this profile screen, in the build, we want to update the user ID to equal the string user ID. So I guess we can do it in build. So profile controller dot, I don't even have it as a function yet. So whoa. So user.update val UID is equal to UID. Because the reason you have to do that is because it's a map. String dynamic. Empty. So do we actually have to do Firestore? No. Oh, here we go. That's how it works. It is obs, and I have no idea what obs. So then UID is the user ID. And we want that to be equal to I don't get the obs thing. UID dot value. Sure, we'll make it final. It just doesn't make sense why it would be final if we're updating it. So, okay, so here's where we're at. The user ID, we're pulling that. And this is all going to be a little bit of like shenanigans with configuration. But it's all going to make sense in a second. So when we go to the profile screen, the first thing we want to do is update user ID to the current user ID. Um, ah, whoops. So first we should probably add a profile controller, small p, import get. Okay, so oh, it's just mad about the const. Okay, so here we are. So now we have the profile controller. The profile controller is going to update the user ID. And then, and that's something that has to happen because each time you build a profile screen, it's going to be for a unique user ID. Um, sure, we can get user profile. And maybe we could even do user is equal to profile controller. Let's just see if that works. Maybe var user would be better. So that's where we're at for now. Let's go ahead and go in here, back to the profile controller. Um, Whoa, that is not what I want. List. So we want thumbnails is equal to, let's do an empty list. List of, okay. So we want to get the videos, which is equal to firestore dot collection videos. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So we add the thumbnail of each. So we have a list of thumbnails. Why did we define that in get user data? Oh, because we're building out a user. Gotcha. No. This is starting to make sense. So we're actually building out the user. So user. So I guess we'll build that out later. What else do we need? We have the user ID. Let's see what other things are required for a user. And thanks everyone again for joining. If you do have questions or if you have suggestions on how I could make this better, I'm always trying to learn. So where we're at right now is we're trying to build out the user profile page for the application. And then we're trying to, what are we trying to do? We're trying to actually make the profile page dynamic so we can load the current user profile or search a user and get their user information. So what do we need? Name, profile photo, email, UID. So it's funny, we actually started with the videos. And this actually reminds me a lot of which controller? I think it was the comment controller. So there may be a point where I'm referencing that, but here we go. Profile controller. So thumbnails, add item, thumbnail. So we've added all the videos, which will go in the bottom box. The other thing that we need are the amount of followers, the amount of likes, um, followers, likes, following, right? Followers, likes, following. So let's see if that's something. Let me just look at this. Let me see if the user model is changed. Okay, so we have the thumbnails. So then let's get the user profile. So we have to get that collection. Users doc.uid.get. Okay. So we get the user, and then we're going to set a few variables. Int but it's actually going to be 0. It should be followers length. Is following is false. Followers following likes is the other one, right? And likes is also going to be equal to 0. I do like the idea of having all the follower metrics together, like that. For var item and my video, likes plus equals item data. Item dot. I don't think that's right. Let me see. How does that make sense? Because For my videos and items dot or doc, that's not working. Follower doc. Let me see. So ideally what it should be is for each video in the list of videos, we're going to increase the number of likes based on the data in likes Gotcha. So for each video that we post, let's say one video gets 5 likes, another one gets 10, and another one gets 0. What it's going to do is it's getting the likes of every video that's ever been posted. So 5 likes for the first video, 10 for the next one. And then it's going to aggregate all of those. So likes plus equals. And for some reason, that is an issue. So that was what I missed, I think. So my videos is await Firestore collection videos. UID is equal to user ID. So this is not right. I is equal to 0. I is less than I plus plus. It still doesn't like that, my videos docs. My videos var my videos is equal to await Firestore collection. Let me just see this. Oh, there we go. What did I have? I had snapshots. That's why. Get. There we go. Docs length. Okay. So for each, what are we doing? For each video, we're going to add the thumbnail. Okay. Item data likes as list. So for each video, we're plus equaling. And then we need to get followers. Which is just going to be Wait, can I just set it equal to the length of that? Let's see. So, oh, I forgot docs. Docs.length. Following is equal to following doc.docs.length. So if this doesn't make sense, basically we iterate through all the videos and add up all the likes of all the videos to get the number of likes. For followers, we can actually pull the length of the list of followers that's stored in Firebase. And that gives us the number of followers that we have. And we can do the same thing for the people that we're following. Oh, let's undo that real quick. So that gives us all of that. And then next thing we're going to do is actually store that information. So next we want to check if the user is so Firestore collection users. It is UID value dot another collection followers. Right, so we're checking if we're looking at, like, if I'm looking at Mr. Beast and I want to see if I'm following him, I want to see if I'm on his list of followers, right? So doc auth controller user ID, so the current user ID is equal to, we want to get that. And then, yeah, so that's actually it. Okay, there we go. So basically what we're doing with this is we're going through and we're checking if the, so for the user that we're looking at, right? In their list of followers is the current user there. And so that's either going to return a list of 1 item or 0 items because the user ID is unique. So then we're going to get that list. And if the value exists, then that means that we are following them. And if not, then we're not following them. And then from that, we can actually post a full, what do you call it, right? We can post a full user profile. So we can set the user value so is there a set function or do we just followers is going to be followers, following is going to be following, is following is following. It's a lot of like redundancy. Profile photo, user data profile photo. Um, so yep. Okay. There we go. So then the user value, profile photo is going to be profile photo name is going to be name and is going to be thumbnails. Okay, so we've got that. Where does this update come from? Let's see what update. It's from get. Okay. Follow user. So collections users, doc UID value, collection followers, doc auth controller, user ID set. Which means we want to set it equal to a variable. Doc,